If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them. If you saw the little baby, the adorable little baby, that's because, dear listener, we are doing a cool little thingamajiggy for a little baby whose mother is currently pregnant. I think they're going to have a kid in November, inshallah. And you guys know how we are. We love life.
I think she's further along than November.
We love kids. Okay, July. I don't know. We love kids. We love life. So there's a nice little baby registry. We'll put the link of that in the description. If you purchase enough to be equivalent to $75 or above, you get a free song. But you don't have to do all that. Just $1 here, $1 here. Anything helps. We've been able to clear like 27 items from that registry.
Yep, I'm gonna put the link in the description.
So I'm very, very proud of our community as always. Send us a screenshot of those. I think she's got 20 weeks to go. Send us a screenshot of those thingamajiggies, and we will be able to get you guys a song. Okay. Having said that, dear listener, the time has arrived.
Yeah.
This
okay.
is the Deftones.
Right, and so the name of the song. Whoop. Okay,
the name of the
so
song
we're doing
is not
Deftones Birthmark, and I'm sorry, you guys, next door somebody is using like this really super loud power drill, and when it first started, I thought they started playing metal music over there, because it was so... Okay, anyway, so the DJ, the king of the DJ says Mudvayne, Seed, that's not the one we're doing. Deftones, I'm so sorry. Birthmark.
Deftones.
Just a song with a cool vibe off their debut album, which is my favorite of theirs. All right, cool.
Okay, I have got to get these lyrics down because Chino's lyrics are really strange.
Okay, and also, you guys, I'm putting the link for the registry in the description of this video.
Chino Moreno.
So if anybody wants to do that, like, you're still going to get your song review, but you get to help out a mom too, so... It's a cool way to do it.
Oh.
What happened?
Okay. All right, guys. Here we go.
Deftones Birthmark.
Deftones Birthmark, bitches. The time has arrived. Let's do it. Spooky. different than everybody else. Deftones. Okay. Now.
I literally don't have any clue what the song is about.
Well, I told you. That's why I said I got to copy these lyrics. This Chino is always gonna do something.
Really?
It's
Okay.
like avant-garde.
Yeah, well, it was.
Avant-garde. I think he's like an automatic writer. I just think he just writes whatever pops into his head.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him. Well, that song Changed. I watched you change.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty coherent.
Yeah.
But this one, I have a general idea of what I think he's talking about.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, you read? Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to
the
tell
lyrics
me.
right there.
I'm reading the lyrics, babe, but it's not making any sense to me.
I'd meet you in wrong, bury all, then I would be right with her. In whole, cherished by two.
Two different people?
Yeah. So he said, I'd meet you in wrong. So he's with a girl, and if he was with another girl, that would be wrong.
Yep.
And then it's basically he's dividing himself.
Bury
between,
all as in like don't say, just bury the whole thing and don't tell her.
Yeah.
Then it would be all
then
right.
I'd be right with her. In whole, I would be cherished by two.
Yo.
Which normally you'd be like, oh, you're splitting yourself between two people. Mm-hmm. But they both love him singularly. So in whole, he's being cherished by two people, but he feels bad because he's meeting this girl in wrong.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right? So that's how I took the first. That's how I took the first. Little stanza. I'd meet you in wrong. Bury all, then
Okay.
I'd be right with
Wow,
her.
yeah.
In whole, cherished by two.
It makes you fly. Yes, I'll lie. Fly means hot, right?
Fly means what?
Hot.
Hot? How?
This black guy told me one time.
Oh, fly, like, oh, that girl is fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
you're a bad bitch. But
Makes
I
you
don't think,
It makes you fly. Yes, I'll lie. Wait, does it make her hot that she's like this little hidden bitch?
no, I think it makes you fly is the fact that he lies to her. Like, it puts her on cloud nine. His lies put her on cloud nine. It makes you fly, like, literally. I'm taking fly literal, like, in
Okay.
the air. Well, metaphorically, like, in the air. I
Yeah,
don't think he's
okay.
using that slang.
Okay, so you think he's saying, I'm going to make you, like, your head go to cloud nine? Yes, I'll lie? Oh, he's
His
lying
lies,
to her?
You're right. His lies make her feel good. So it puts her up in the air. It makes her fly. Yes, I'll lie. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God, I'll even lick her picture in
I don't-
whole. Drinks won't stain this birth. Go
I
ahead.
don't get that. What do you mean lick the picture? Why would we be licking a picture?
I think that means like he still loves her. He loves the other girl too.
So he's telling girl number one, I'll still lick the picture of girl number two?
I think he's telling girl number one, I'll lie and make you fly, and then he's looking at us. You know, like in Shakespeare when you do the soliloquy, and then he looks at the audience. So I think he's looking at the audience and said, "Yeah, I'd lick her picture in whole. Like I really do like her." I think he's just talking about the, and then what alcohol does as well, right? So
In
in whole, because he's divided between two people, but he's saying, yeah, but like I really truly mean this with all my heart. Like that's the thing. That's why I keep saying, like, people are really complex. People think like, oh yeah, you're with two girls, so that means half you's over here, half you's over there. But that's not really how it is. Like, he genuinely likes her here for these and these attributes, so his whole self is with her here. And then with this other girl, he genuinely likes her here, and his whole self is over there. I think when he says, I'll lick her picture in whole, I think what he's saying is like, he really does. Yeah, I'm really attracted to you. Just because I'm liking this other girl doesn't mean I'm not attracted to you. Now look, here you go. Go ahead, say what's in your
I mean,
head.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
like that, obviously. I mean, like, we're seeing that on that show, you know? So
What do you mean?
I don't feel like you're like that. I feel like that you're like with me 100%. You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean?
not like that.
Yeah, but there are people that are like that, but I, you know.
Look, I believe marriage is for specific kinds of people. I think there's some dudes that shouldn't get married. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
or you do the Islam thing and you have 4 wives or whatever.
Yeah.
But monogamy, I think, is God's best. But I think there's a lot of dudes that don't have the maturity level to get married. Because when I see something like, I look at like, oh, this is an opportunity. And it's not like, Tony Robbins shit. This is my mentality. Like, we're supposed to help each other grow as people.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are like, oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's a great idea. But a lot of what growth is, obviously here comes the gym metaphor, but a lot of what growth is resistance training.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's painful. I was doing, anybody that's ever done leg day at the gym, it's painful.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable. And that's where you get the most of your gains and the most of your growth. I mean, if you've ever been to the gym, like that's kind of the panic point, is when you're doing the same exercises and there's not really much exertion. I'm looking at my heart rate when I'm in the sauna, you know what I'm saying? And like nothing is, it's staying at 120. And I'm like, shit. So then I start doing, leg lifts or something to get it up. And like, I got to grind to get it up to 140, where like 3 weeks ago,
Just sitting there
got me to 150.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my point is, like, bad times in a relationship are it's like, okay, this is where you're gonna get a lot of your gains. But a lot of people want to be in a relationship and plateau. So what happens is, when you have another girl that doesn't challenge you in the way the other girl does, people think that they're falling in love with the other girl, is what I'm saying. Because she doesn't challenge you that way. So you think, oh, okay, this is what the relationship's supposed to be like.
Oh, that's
But
really
then that other girl is missing the factors that you truly, really love about girl number one. So now he's in whole with both of them, is what it looks like to me.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
It's just me. I'm bored. See? I'm bored. Carried lung. Now I could be right with her in whole, cherished by two. So he's looking at it and he's saying, this girl is just boring, man. It's just boring because everything's going too good. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I can't remember this. I can't remember what I was going to say. That's such a, ugh.
I feel like you're not saying something.
No, that's because I had something to say, and then like I started thinking about everything that you were saying, and then I got off my train of thought of what I was going to say about it. Yeah, I don't know.
That bothers you? Mm-hmm.
Well, one, yes, because I can see how, like for me, I don't like it when there's like a lot of like resistance, because I'm like, oh, this is probably not good, blah, blah, blah. Like everything should be a little more. We had this discussion
on Sunday. You were taught that resistance in a relationship is bad.
Well, it's interesting because my father didn't like a lot of it. Like he felt like they should be agreeing on a lot of stuff. And if there's not, so my father was the one that didn't like a lot of resistance because he felt that was a bad sign. My mother didn't think that was a bad sign. My mother thought that resistance was, I think that she looked at it kind of more like you do. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think that's a little bit interesting, but like when I step back, or like if I listen to Jordan Peterson on relationships and stuff, he always talks about like the person that you want to marry is the person that's going to give you feedback, that's going to push back on you, and someone that you can actually grow with. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So I used to like, one of the things that would trouble me growing up was, because I always thought about being in a relationship. That was like my thing. I mean, I was in kindergarten wondering if my husband was going to be in the class. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, and I remember thinking, yo, if I meet him, I'm going to have to wait friggin' so many years before we can get married. This is going to be insane. So I always had like this, I don't know, view of relationships, marriage in particular. But I was like, I always asked the question. I asked it to a bunch of people and nobody ever gave me a satisfactory answer. I said, okay, is there one person for everybody? Like, generally speaking, is there that one person that you're going to find that you guys are just going to like hit it off and like you guys are the shit together? Like that's it. Or is there multiple people for one person and you pick the one out of the multiples that you like the best? And that troubled me that I didn't know the answer. What is it? Because I want to know. Like, to me, the one person, like the one person that fits you, like you're looking for that one person, I love that concept. And that's the one that I want it to be real. But that's not what I was seeing in front of me. Like, I felt like people were in relationships and still thinking about other people and whatever. And then, like, I remember hitting a point where I was like, what would be the worst is if you loved two people. And how would you get in that situation? Like, you know, the whole, what was that one with Tom Hanks? Shipwrecked or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
horrible.
You know, something horrible you're with somebody, you love that person, and then some event happens, and then they think you're dead, and then they move on with somebody else, or you're the one that does that. You know, you waited around for them, they're not coming back, you get word that they're dead, blah blah blah, and then you move on and build a relationship with somebody else, and then all of a sudden they come back, like, and now you're like, holy shit, like, I love both of these people. But now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, I would just, the idea of being in that type of situation to me it was absolutely terrifying. And then, you know, obviously, like, my first, like, real relationship, I never got over that relationship. Even though I was the one that ended that relationship, I never got over it. And then when I got married to my first husband, it was, like I stayed focused on my own relationship, but there was, like, there's a part of you, I think I mean, it's the emotional side of you, and you can't deny it. It's not like you can just flick that off and just turn it. It's there. So you either decide if you're going to, like, pamper it and grow that, or you're going to say, I'm not even going to touch that because that's not good for my relationship. And so that's what I did with it. I just kind of pushed it to the side, but it was something that would kind of come up at me at different times. And I kind of felt like I was in that situation where I was like, kind of, you know, but then, you know, after everything that went down and then you and I landed together, then I'm like, no, there's one person, because all of that, I could have skipped all that other stuff and just been with you. And I don't have to make myself get over that, you know, that young relationship, because essentially it's almost a problem-free relationship. You're both young. You don't know the questions to really ask. You think that you do. You know, you feel in love. It's the first time you've ever felt in love. You know, it's the first of a lot of things. And so, like, the relationship can feel like a big whatever. But, like, this relationship eclipses everything before it. And then you make me say, okay, no, there is the one person, because the people that you were with previously, like, you know, you were in relationships, but, like, this relationship is the shit for you. And for me, it's the same thing. And there's struggle in the relationship, and there's, like, that's the one thing that I think is really cool, is that and I don't think that everybody wants that type of relationship, but there's, like, the highs are, like, really high, and then the lows can feel really, like, you know, or maybe they just do to me because I'm super emotional, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, like, that, there's, like, excitement in the relationship, you know.
Never a dull moment.
It's not boring. So I guess, like, yeah.
It's a very very interesting question, because you see some people,
and that's what's being dealt with in that show.
Some people in the Bible, like, you could tell, like, Jacob and Rachel, for example, like,
and that's the thing, I would see it in the Bible. You'd see that
was his one.
That was it, and it stayed his one forever.
Yeah. Whereas Abraham and Sarah, it was a more like a visionary type relationship. Like, it didn't really seem like he was, this is my, you know, one and only type of thing. She died. Yeah. He buried her. Terrible. Then he goes off and marries Couture and moves on with his life.
You know who else I also kind of thought, like, I mean, you weren't supposed to think this. You were very discouraged, but Samson, like, how he was with Delilah, like, I mean, she ruined him. Yeah. Like, she didn't obviously share the same as what he did, but he obviously felt like she was the one, because he literally gave her the keys to the kingdom, and she destroyed him. Yeah. But,
there are degrees of kinds of relationships in the Bible where, like, you could tell the dude, he just, and God says, like, he just loved Rachel. He had to work for her for the 7 years. It was like 7 days, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, there's some people that hit each other like that. Isaac and Rebecca was an arranged marriage, you know, so it was, but Jacob, like, loved her immediately. Yeah. The minute he saw her, he loved her. And, you know.
Well, and who was the one? It was Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. Who did you just say?
Well, Isaac and Rebecca was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, and then Jacob. Yeah, and that was Joseph, right? Joseph was their kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Seduct.
And then Benjamin was another one of her kids.
Seduct.
Yeah. It was just...
Right.
So, like, you could see that even though, like... I mean, like, in those types of relationships, like, even the years later, you could tell by the way that the two... Because he married two women. Not by his choice. They forced him into that. That was horrible what they did to him. But, like, you could tell that... I mean, Leah always felt like she was not as loved as Rachel.
Yeah.
Because it was how it was.
Because he didn't love her like that.
Right.
It says, and the Lord saw that Leah was hated. You should have participated in that shit, bitch. Shout out to Leah, though. She's basically our grandmother. She's a great-great-great-grandmother of
Do you
Christ.
think that if she would have said, I'm not going along with that something better would have come for her? Do you think that the way that she's kind of described and...
I think relationships are just really, really, really... It's hard, you know, because I feel like such a, you know... I was in a relationship where it was more like... Before you, it wasn't any of these blah giant, but there were emotional connections and there were, you know, whatever, and we had kids, and I was cool. I was ready to go to my grave with that. Like, I don't need to have giant, you know, whatever. And now I'm in this relationship, and you know, I mean, it's very convenient. You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, I've been in both of them, but yeah, you're definitely like they're the way that we are, like there would never ever be another human being on this planet ever. I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about ever, that we would ever relate that way. And it's not just because everybody's different. I just know it's the same thing. Like there's no other Rachel for Jacob. Rachel dies and he's done. He was done after that. You know what I'm saying? And even when he got Joseph back, he was still done. Wasn't like his life was paused. Like it was just over. That was his girl. That was it. That's all he wanted. And I think like he experienced it and he's like, okay, like I did that. Like that part of my being is closed off. Like it's completed. I'm good. And I think that's why for me, like if you know, if me and you, if I ever existed on this planet without you, you know, I would do love. But if I ever existed on this planet without you, like it wouldn't be this sad thing where like I'm gonna determine to be destitute. It would just be, it would be like Tom Brady finally coming at peace with retirement and saying I won 7 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like that part of me is satisfied. It's complete, and so that part of my being is off. And that doesn't say anything about you if that's not the case with you. I'm just saying like that's how it is for, that's what you are for me. So that's the main reason I would never, you know, go anywhere else. It's like, yeah, I'm winning the Super Bowl every day. You know what I'm saying? Why would I go? And I was losing every day before, so I know what it's like. That's the thing. It's like I know what it's like to lose every day. So now I'm winning every day. Like if I get in an argument, like ridiculous. Go ahead. What were you saying? We gotta rate the song. We spent way too much time on this.
Yeah. For me. Whenever I picture, like, if something happened to you, I'm like, I would not get back into another relationship. I say, you know, like, Gracie and Frankie show?
Yeah.
You know, the one that's really, like, she's kind of crazy. She wears, like, hippie kind of clothes and stuff. She smokes her pot and stuff. I feel like that I'm just be like some old lady like that. Like, just go on with my, like, you know, I don't know, go to the flea markets, do the different things, and, like, just, I don't know, be like a grandma to people or something. Like, I don't see myself in that situation either. Again,
what did you give the song?
Oh shoot, you go first.
7.8 for me. 7.8 for me.
8.1.
Yeah, it's definitely like Chino's writing style, but I'm not sure though, that like it had that distinctive Deftones sound. Although
he sounded like
the vocal style.
Yeah,
I didn't really know he had that kind of a vocal range, especially when he was younger. You did listen to my Think We're Gone, but we're not. We have one more song for you by the band Mudvayne, which is, I think, aside from Korn and Slipknot, I think Mudvayne is my, I don't know if they're my third favorite or second favorite new metal band. I don't know. It's between them and Slipknot. I'll probably give it to Mudvayne, longevity-wise. I don't really listen to a lot of Slipknot after Iowa, so
Okay.
Mudvayne is officially my second favorite new metal band, so they're coming around the corner soon, inshallah. Vin, out!
Sorry out.
Go! Oh! This is back! Holy shit!
It's so funny. Amy.
I'm so happy right
Seriously,
now!
the DJ was just saying this stream misses you. Look right up there. I was like, she's been summoned, and then all of a sudden, boop, you pop in.
Oh, I'm so happy. I almost
You
hit
made it
finish.
for the last one.
I'm so happy. All right, we got one more song left. We shall return, bitches.